We also have extended our induction event from a half day to a full day just last month. We've just done 2 now. And our aspiration is for every new employee to be invited to attend an induction event in the first month of their employment, although last week we had 37 people there, which was slightly too many, really, to have a more informal approach with people, and we may have to consider restricting the numbers. And we said rather proudly to the director as he came in that you'll be pleased to know there's 37 people here. He said, well, actually no, it makes me worried about my staffing budget. So we have all these new staff. I mean, it can vary each month. I think in February we had about 12 people. But it does show that we're a changing workforce. We also encourage people who are changing posts within the organization to attend the induction events. We have had some people do that. We had someone last week who'd been in the department for 25 years and had come along and had changed jobs, and she really, really enjoyed it. Because, I mean, the department has changed so much, even in the last 2 or 3 years, so it's probably useful for a lot of other stuff. So that we have extended it to a day, 1 whole day, so that we wanted to have an opportunity in the afternoon to have a bit more hands-on and practice-based discussions. So we see the aim is to start embedding the value base of the organization. So we therefore use the SSSE codes of practice, which I understand all staff are now sent anyways at the time they're appointed. They're sent it directly. But we do a brief overview of that. We also do a brief overview of our council performance review and development competences. We have a series of competencies as part of our, appraisal system. But we also bring in a few middle manager people, like our adult protection officer, as he's called, and our health and safety training person, and our equalities and diversities lead officer. And we have a series of about 9 little vignettes, scenarios that we look at in small groups, and they have received the most positive feedback. Although surprisingly, people seem to enjoy even the PowerPoint presentations, which and I think they enjoy seeing these managers, and perhaps they don't see the director a lot, although I was saying to Keith that a few weeks ago a large number of us have recently moved into a very large open plan office where there are 400 people on the floor that I work on, and you could see the director. He oversees all his staff. They're much more accessible, and they walk past your desk and you can stop and ask questions. But that will not be the case for all staff, obviously. I think it's important to recognize that the home care staff have had a much more systematic approach, and I think that's very, very important and responsible that that has happened, because these individuals are working alone, they're dispersed, and they're obviously having to cope with increasing levels of responsibility and expectations with more personal types of care. And I have had a quick look at the induction pack, which has been revised regularly and updated, I think, every few years. And as you would expect, the kind of material that you were describing yourself, Keith, I think it's very comprehensive in that way. It does refer to the value base as well as essential mandatory information about health and safety and infection control and so on. And I gather that investment people, they come back and review you after a few years, and it was very positively evaluated when that was done, I think, a year or 2 ago. So home care staff, in addition to their own induction pack, they are all invited to attend our day event, and we're very pleased that one of the senior managers in home care always comes to that event, and he holds a small group with the home care staff that are there on that particular day. So this is the kind of induction material that they get, the department event induction pack that's well established, and some essential health and safety training. young workers, I think it's slightly more haphazard, and some may get access to aspects of the home care document, but a lot of it is done through individual managers. They also attend the departmental event, and they have a series of mandatory health and safety training that they have to do. Our department also supports social care staff at different levels to attend a foundation level training course, which is 6-day release days. And it again echoes the kind of material that you would hope that these kind of staff are being encouraged to learn about. So our current challenges, so I think we are one of those groups that is possibly working towards a better induction system, although I think we've got some reasonably good achievements already, and I think we are aware of the importance of having a much more systematic approach, and we are definitely aiming and committed to ensuring that. I think what this tells us is that a lot of induction skills is about the level of skill of managers and the awareness of managers, and I think they are very key in this process, so that we need to be seen to be supporting managers. And I'm about to embark on meeting with a variety of managers to talk to them about their specific induction requirements. And there may be other sources of material that we could buy in that could help with particularly our social care staff group. We still have a difficulty in our department with access to email, intranet, and internet, particularly in the home care staff. So we have to be still providing hard copies of things, but we would like to have more accessibility and have internet cafe type resources available in the city that home care staff might be able to use. But I think we're quite a long way from actually being able to implement that and get the resources to do that. I think we haven't had a great deal of service user involvement directly. I mean, obviously people are working with service users while they're working through their induction packs on the job in home care. And that is something that we could, I mean, I think by bringing in the case scenarios that we do on our one-day event, we've tried to increase the visibility and to get people really to see that they have responsibility, even if they're a driver for the community equipment service or a senior social worker, to take note of with protection of vulnerable adults, which is our business as a department, as well as address equality, diversity, and health and safety issues. We are a Department of Health and Social Care. I think we're still at the very early stages of being joined up with health. There isn't a great deal of joint training that's going on yet, I don't think, but there's certainly a commitment from our director, who is also a director of taking on the directorate of the Community Health Partnerships in Edinburgh in a few weeks' time, I understand. So this is something that we're waiting to see how it's going to develop. So as I said, I'm giving you a fairly broad picture of what a large local authority department is aiming to do. So I'm very pleased to be able to hear about the other presentations today, because I think we're obviously looking for types of material that we can use to benefit the workforce in this realm.